Hey guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. So it is Q&A Tuesday. And so remember I didn't do the countdown days yesterday. So countdown days are, and if you're new to my channel, I am counting down the days till the AHIMA 2019 conference that's in Chicago this year. Pre-convention starts on September 14th, which is 130 days from today. And the official kickoff, when everybody comes in and they have the big welcoming ceremony, is 131 days from today on September 15th. So if you would like more information about this year's conference, check the website, and I will be putting down the address in the description box below. Okay, so let's get started on Q&A Tuesday. So I've been getting a lot of questions about how long does it take to get a job in medical coding and why am I not getting callbacks? Okay, so I've talked about this in my other videos about how hard it is in the beginning to get a job. Now, I'm not going to lie. If you want to get into medical coding because you want to start making money right away and you want to get a job fast, you're going to be disappointed because it takes some finesse to get a job. There are some trade schools that do offer job assistance, job placement assistance, and they may be able to do that. But that's not available everywhere. So just so you know, it does take time to get a job because you're going to get that a lot in the beginning where people are not going to want to take a chance on you because you don't have any experience. Medical coding is one of those weird professions that you have to have experience in order to get in. But how can you get in if no one will let you in? So it takes a lot of time and effort and perseverance and persistence to actually get in. So I have one really rather embarrassing video up, right, where I talk about my struggle in how did I get my first job. And I actually did cry during this video, like legit tears, because I remember how hard it was in the beginning. You know, starting out in this business is not easy, but the reward for actually, you know, being persistent and staying with it, it is really great because, you know, I love what I do. And I've said it before, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. And I feel a lot of times when I come to work, it's not actually work. You know, it is just me doing something that I love. Now, I will be honest with you. The work part actually does come in when I have to go to a meeting, you know, but not with my providers. My providers, that's not a chore. But like other meetings, you know, like regular, like other coder meetings, sometimes it's a chore because it's long and sometimes it does get boring. So, but that's just the nature of it. I mean, that's just part of the business, you know. So there's just certain things you're not going to like about what you do, and you know, that's just one of them. I mean, but as far as like the coding, I love the coding. I love the researching, and I love even working with my providers that take a little extra time, you know, for whatever reason, you know, whether it's that, you know, they don't understand or I have to work with them a little bit more, you know, for me, that's just a part of it, you know, and I enjoy it. So, but yes, if you're trying to get into this field because somebody told you about the money and you want to make all this money, I'm just telling you, be prepared to wait because it doesn't come right away. And I'm going to be honest with you in that I am somebody who lived it. I lived going through getting the door slammed in my face and saying, well, you passed the test, but we can't hire you because you have no experience, you know. So I've lived through it, and I worked. I mean, I said before, I worked 7 days a week, literally. I had multiple jobs. I did bartending. I worked at a concession stand. I worked at a halfway house. I mean, literally, I was working 7 days a week for minimum wage. So when I got in and I got my chance and I finally did get in and I was able to start working, you know, I never looked back that, you know, I hated it all that time. No, that was preparing me for, you know, being in the field, you know. And some people get very frustrated, understandably so, because I was there too. I was very frustrated that nobody would hire me, nobody would take a chance on me. But, you know, I had a very good support system with my mom. And, you know, she pushed me and she kept encouraging me to just stick with it and you'll get it, you know. And eventually I did. So if you're out there and you're wondering why, that's just why. It is part of being a medical coder in the beginning. So the only thing, and this is going to take me to another one of the questions, is how can you get experience without, just starting, So one of my suggestions is to contact the medical records administrator of whatever hospital that you're trying to get into, and just ask them if you can volunteer, and let them know, hey, I'm a brand new medical coder. I'm looking to get some experience. Can I volunteer? And I'm letting you guys know now too that whenever you volunteer, a lot of times they're going to have to pass a background check, because this is HIPAA. You know what I mean? This is private information, so they can't just let people willy-nilly go back there. So if if you have the drive to do it, you have to be prepared that you're everything's lined up, and you're prepared and ready to go. So just make sure you have all your information with you, and just let them know, hey, I just want to get started in the field somehow, some way. Can you give me a chance? And I recommend that because some people have had success doing that. I didn't know to do that in the beginning. I had actually gone back to the school that I had went to, and they put me in contact with a temporary agency that was specifically for medical. So if you have one of those in your town or your city, go and apply with them, and tell them, hey, you're a brand new coder, and that you want to get into the medical coding field, and can they hook you up with a job? Okay, so sometimes all they need is a body to fill the seat. They're not going to expect you to have all this experience. They just need somebody in there that's a certified medical coder. So in the beginning, you're not going to be required to be like all this fast and speed, because a lot of times they're going to know that you're brand new. So but all the clinics that they set you up with, this temporary agency, all these clinics, that's more filler for your resume. Then once you get the first one, it's going to be easier to get the second one. But try going to a temporary agency and asking them to set you up. And if you're already working in a job right now and you don't have time to do that, this is just one of those things that you're going to have to do if you want to be a medical coder. I mean, that's just one of the things that I did, and I understand people got to work and they got to pay their bills and everything, but I mean, that's just the way to get in. So that's one thing. You can also start off as a biller. Billers do not have to be certified a lot of times, and at least you're not actively coding, but you are sort of in that coding arena, because I think medical billers should be certified so that they know what they're sending in for payment. But that's not the way that it is, because all these people are doing is basically processing claims that come in. Maybe they have a chance to look at something that maybe the insurance kicks back, and the person can look at it and say, oh, this is wrong because of this, this, or this, and then they have to kick it back to the coder. But if they have somebody that's in there that's certified, that would make you look really good compared to somebody that's not certified. At least you understand the medical coding part of it. So that's another way. Some people get started with medical records. They see a job opening for medical records in a hospital, and they go in there. But sometimes people get stuck in medical records, so just be careful with that. Because they just never kind of get out of there after that. But starting in medical records is good, because at least this way, if there's a position open in the hospital for a medical coder, generally the people that are working there are the first ones that get looked at. So that's just something to think about. Okay. But please hear me when I say this takes time. It is not fast. If you want it to be fast, you're going to be disappointed. And don't invest time and energy in something if you don't want to stick with it, because you're going to get frustrated. You just have to stick with it. And trust me, when you get out of this whole thing of trying to find a job, and then once you're in then you can start there and stay with them, or go wherever you like. It's up to you. After that, the world is your oyster. So but yes, so those were my things on that. And then my other question was, why go to the library? So to me, the library is, number one, it's free. Okay. And I am all about free when it comes to getting educated. I do not like the idea of having to pay for lots of books, even though I will pay for books. But I mean, if I have my way, why am I going to spend all of this money on books that I'm maybe going to read a couple of times, just to learn something real quick? Now, I will invest in books that I know I'm going to actively use, okay? That I will invest money in. But if I'm just starting to learn and I'm just starting out, I'm going to spend time in the library. I mean, these books are for free, and you can just sit there and just look over them, and read them. You can always go online and look, you know what I mean? And that's fine. But I'm old school. I like books. I don't like to sit here and stare at a screen all day trying to read something. I don't do that. I don't dig that, Some people do, and if you do, hey, that's great. But that's not for me. I learned the old-fashioned way, from a book, and I'd rather just sit here with a book and then just read or look at the pages and look at the pictures, and the stuff starts to sink into your brain, because the more you look at it, the more your brain is going to start processing this stuff, because eventually it'll be like, I saw that, where did I see it? So that's why I always encourage the use of the public library. So I don't have like specific titles, because back when I was in school, all those books are outdated by now. So, I mean, you can always look online, just type in a simple search and see, what kind of books come up, and then try to go from there. Try to look, into trying to check out those books if you can. That's just one of my suggestions. But I will always suggest going to the public library, always. And that is just me. So, and plus at the library, there's so many more titles that you can't even think of. You know what I mean? Like, you go there and you're like, oh, they have pathology for, beginners, or, whatever. I don't know. I don't know if that's an actual title or not. But, they'll have anatomy. They have plenty of books on anatomy, but if you actually want to go and buy something, go to the thrift shop and check out what they have over there. Goodwill has a huge selection of medical books. I mean, not just medical coding. Sometimes they do. I've actually found medical coding books there once. But I mean, it's very rare to find those. And sometimes if you do find them, sometimes they are very old, so it just depends. But I like to go from time to time to Goodwill and check out what kind of books do they have. Sometimes they have excuse me, I'm trying to suppress a sneeze. Okay, so I like I said, I have gone there. I found my cardiology book there, and like I said, that helped me to learn too. So that's just just some food for thought from somebody who's been there. Okay, if anybody knows and can give you advice, it's me. Check out those books. And what is it? What is the expression? How does the expression go? The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Same idea. Okay, the more you can educate yourself, the better off you'll be. Okay, and the cheaper you can get it done, the better off you'll be. Because I don't see the point in investing so many hundreds of dollars into books, and then you get into it and you decide you don't like it. This is why I suggest going to the public library. Or if you insist on getting books for yourself, then go to the thrift shop. And then if all else, Amazon, eBay, whatever. Just some thoughts from me to you. Okay, and then, that was it. And then flashcards. Nobody asked about flashcards, but I wanted to throw that in a little reminder out there, so hopefully somebody that's listening out there, use flashcards, make flashcards. A deck of index cards is so cheap anyway. You can get them at the Dollar Tree, dollar store, wherever you shop for cheap things. And then just make them, and then when you have downtime, sometime, whatever, just flip them, you know. And it can be words that you're trying to remember. It could be suffixes, it could be prefixes, you know what I mean? It could be rules, it could be anything, symbols from the book, you know what I mean? You can make flashcards about any topic that you like, if it will help you to remember. Writing stuff down helps to commit stuff to memory, okay? So that's just my advice. But just trust me, okay? Just trust me and just go with it, you know. Because it's easy to get overwhelmed with a lot of stuff if you're just getting into it and saying, I gotta learn all of this stuff. I'm telling you the easiest way to try to help you. Okay? So I have chatted enough, so I will go ahead and close this video out. But if you have any more questions, hit me up. I'm gonna do Q&A Tuesday, next Tuesday, and just let me know. And you know, if there's anything you need advice on, you know, or just a quick word or whatever, I will be including my email address down in the description box below. And I will see y'all on the next video. And be sure to like and subscribe if you are interested in the fascinating world of medical coding. All right, I'll see y'all next time. Bye.